this isn't a highlight reel. This is an actual Saturday where I'm about to film as I show up here every single day. And we're committed to showing up till the end of 2026, and I've had such a busy day that I have nothing planned. I just finished a 10-part series and I just wanted to make this one lighthearted. Yesterday, I talked about why I am showing up every single day and the reasons why I'm doing that. So I have that locked into like the reason. And then this morning, what I was doing was more about making sure. So I had a workbook thing that I'm like going through to how do I want to start showing up? Because I want to end the next 6 months we have of the year strong and really intentional and really speaking and connecting with people, right? And so my brain's just, you know, so done that okay, having to come and I have like a structured. If I had a series I was doing, okay, I would have got flow, but I was just like, yeah, let's just see, and I'll start another series again soon. But here we are. Let's just, my thing, like what I talked about or planned out this morning was that I'll be looking at my notes while I share is the identity that I want to take going forward is that a lot of people, especially I speak to my interpreters and translators, but this relates to everyone, is that a lot of people are living from an identity they never consciously chose for themselves. We're just going through the motion. Somebody might have said something to you, something might have happened, and then you just took that on, and then it became like, okay, this is you. This is who you are. Like for me, I was like, I had a situation where I was made fun of in class and everyone laughed and I just wanted to disappear. So that just made my shyness even worse. So I just took on that identity that I'm someone who is shy and someone who doesn't give eye contact and someone who didn't. So can you see how I didn't choose that for self? It just kind of like happened. And now it's like for the longest time, right up to my early, like my teens and even my early 20s, I still had that shy tendencies. I didn't choose that. I just unconsciously, it just became part of me. So part of what I'm doing showing up here is letting people understand that the identity they're living from is not one that they say, this is who I am. This is how I'm showing up, or this is what I think. So it's helping folks know that where we did you choose that for self? You thinking you're not people like you, I can't. Is it something someone said to you? Is it something that was passed on or whatever that you've now taken on unconsciously and now it is your identity? Yeah. So it's kind of like what I want to start speaking towards and like start showcasing now strongly as we now carry on. And I think one of the things that I always talk about is about the radical shift and the radical transformation, right? The shift is when you now get the awareness. So now that you know that some of your identity is not, you didn't consciously choose them. See, that's a shift. So now you want to start being conscious. And with that takes time. And with research showing that it takes about 66 to 365 days for like a whole new belief, habit, whatever to get locked in. It varies for people. That's what research said the average is. But there are people who are exceptional to that rule. Some people it takes even longer. Some people it takes like now done. No longer say I'm no longer a smoker, whatever it is. It's like saying, okay, someone that's saying they want to quit smoking. They've been thinking about quitting smoking, but the day they stop was the day that they've decided to quit. Maybe that's not a great analogy or an example, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. So for me, how I want growth to happen and to show up here while I showcase myself and do my thing is a case that you don't need to become someone else. Because sometimes people feel like to transform, they have to become this whole new person. They have to change who they are. They have to become someone else. Whereas all it is, you just have to uncover the person who you already been. Underneath that conditioning, underneath all those things, you just get to unpack and figure out. You're not becoming someone new. You're getting you back, right? And in the professional space, it's like a lot of people think, oh, I just need to develop more skill. I just need to get this better. No. So it's understanding that in terms of professional development, I want training centers, people who are like teaching folks, who are like making stuff. Like my thing is envisioning 5 years time that when people are going to do training as interpreters and stuff like that, that is not a case of we're carrying this person, like you're developing a person's skill, but we're also not just the skill, it's also the person who is carrying it, developing the person too. Because when we develop the person carrying the skill, then the profession will follow through. You know, it's having the case where it is not just you go and do a training center and just go and learn technical skills. You go and learn how to do certain things. We also get to learn how to handle self when things happen, when your mind goes blank, when this happens, like all those things gets to be part of training. That's what I envision training centers will now start adopting and having when they're training new people to come into the profession, you know, um, because it's not just about the standard, for me, one of my mission is to change the standard of interpreters development by developing the person and not just the profession, not just how the skill, the technical, the person itself needs to be developed so that they can then go out there and do their thing, right? Because when people see the patterns that's been there all along, and then they can then do the work to transform that, and then they're now in a whole different space and being, right? So yeah, so that's kind of like what I was working on this morning to get things right. So today is just kind of like, hey, this was going. I don't really have like a structured thing that I want to talk about. But that's kind of like where I am going and how, building a foundation to know, okay, this is the movement I want to take forward. This is the red thread, the mission and everything that I've got going. And yeah, I've put on, because it's a casual one today, because you can see my phone, I've got TikTok live going on, and I didn't really announce that I'm showing up. So it's a very interesting one that people just like pass on. It's like a conveyor belt. People come in and say hi and stuff. And because, hey, unless if you're like, is it following how they say it, that would they know like what I do and stuff like that. So when someone comes here, it's like, oh, what she's talking about, oh no, she's not steady enough, and then they move on, and then it's like but it's all good, it's all good. I had a very interesting day. Oh, please get notification. I know. And then I also worked on getting some storyboards so that when I'm like sharing things so that or whatever, I can have, okay, I can tap into the story, I can tap into that. I also worked on that, and yeah. So now I have a better understanding on who I'm speaking to, what the deal is, and how things get to roll off, and things like that. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, so people just like coming in and out as we go on. Those are the main things that I really planned out because I really wanted to get the foundations in place so that I can strategize properly. I can really look into the physiology, like what are people actually believing. I can then take it from there and yeah, support in that way. So yeah, that is, making sure that everything is coherent, and having that, like what that ecosystem gets to look like, because what I want to start doing is having those touch points as well, and being, having it structured, because what you don't measure you can't improve if you don't really have a plan of what's going on, and just like, oh yeah, what am I going to post today, or what am I going to talk about today, then it just doesn't. Okay, this is an exception. We have rant days, right? And this is one of those, like there's no structure to the thing, we're just talking. So that's what we've done today. And that's kind of like how everything has, somewhat flowed for me, and how I've planned to show up and to make it intentional. So that's the plan. That is the plan, to really start making it. And with everything going on, like with the kids and it's like today I'm just like, what, I'm not entering that kitchen. I'm not doing anything. I just want to like get this thing done. So fortunately my husband made dinner, lunch, and stuff like that. And tomorrow we're just gonna like, we'll make things work. But right now, nada. But it's good. But it is what happens some days. Like sometimes you say you're gonna show up. Now I've just kind of like shared a few things that I'm working on, and it is. I want my physiology of what it is I'm doing is like, because of like what I said earlier about people living in an identity that they did not consciously choose. So all those labels, the expectation, the fears, the comparison, all those things are, things that show up from that. So yeah, we're gonna keep showing us kind of like content I will be sharing more about. It's getting to that point where we now take ownership with the different pillars that I'll be using. I will also incorporate them here long form on YouTube. This exercise was mainly geared to the other platform with the short forms and everything like that. But yeah, hopefully it will be also be able to be transferred over here on YouTube as well to get that ecosystem. But yeah, we'll keep going and keep doing it. I am Nene, and we do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters, and it is your time to use it. And to follow more along, don't forget to subscribe and get the free identity audit if you want to know what patterns you're holding you back, so that you can really fully understand and see like all these things that I want to start speaking more of. You get a hand of it. All right.